Merry Meet, it is Niina. You're watching Fairy Chamber channel, continuing my series on Finnish pagan holidays. So first of all of you who celebrate ostara or different forms of ostara and spring equinox, very blessed spring equinox. And as you can guess, today's topic is ostara in Finnish context. And what is very interesting about Finnish pagan holidays, we have lots of animals connected to different equinoxes and Sabbaths. So animal that is connected to ostara in Finnish context is snake. So ostara in Finnish, we could say that the 19th to 23rd of March, the spring equinox. In Finland they are called matopäivä. The actual day of spring equinox is called matopäivä. It is usually clashes to one of those days. And mato is Old Finnish and it means a snake and a worm. In modern Finnish language, mato means only snake. Worm, and käärme is snake. But in the old Finnish language, mato meant both snake and a worm and all kinds of things that slither, all kinds of bugs that slither. So matopäivä was the day of the snakes, and the reason why snakes are connected to ostara is that it was believed that during this time period, the spring equinox, that was the time when the worms and snakes, they would wake up from their hibernation. So it was really time to almost a rebirth of the snakes. You know, snakes can create their skin again, so in a way it was rebirth of the snakes and at the same rebirth of the earth. Because in Finnish mythology, snakes, they have different kind of origin myths, and very common is that snake is the creature of Alinen, which means the underworld. And it kind of makes sense because the snakes, they live in the ground and they are connected to different goddesses. They are connected to Maanutar, and she's also known as Akka, and Rauni, the earth goddess in Finnish mythology. And some myths tell that Akka was the one who created the snake. And sometimes snake is also connected to Louhi, and Louhi is Finnish goddess of the shamans and witches and the underworld and goddess of the dead and the gatekeeper between this realm and other realms. So snake is connected to both of these very interesting mythical goddesses. And what happened around matopäivä was that people were not allowed to let the farm animals to go to the fields just yet because there were so many snakes waking up. And also there was all kinds of things, a church connected to matopäivä. One was that all these church to create fishing rods for the coming year, and the small traps for animals. Those were made around this time of the year because if you have been in Finland around March especially and around Easter, there's lots of willow trees that grow up and pop up from the snow that is melting. And the willow trees, they're really great when you want to have that kind of very bending tree. And those were used to make fishing rods and small traps. So it was time to cut the willow trees and do kind of willow crafts. Willow wands are pretty powerful, you know that. And one was very interesting thing that there was lots of taboos connected to matopäivä. And this is quite common in these holidays that are connected to different animals. So during matopäivä, women were not allowed to sew or do spinning or even bake bread because the shapes of the snakes, they were forbidden not to create. It was believed to bring bad luck, and maybe the spirit of the great snake might get annoyed. This would mean that if you broke this taboo in the summer, snakes might come to your homes and farms and really haunt people and other animals. So people had this taboo not to create or do anything that is related to snakes. They might like give sacrifices for the snakes and pray the snakes, but not really do anything with the snake form or stuff like that. It's very interesting. People had quite dual relationship for the snakes. I believe it was more positive in the pagan times, but with Christian elements later on coming up and the story of Adam and Eve and forbidden fruit and all that, it gave snake an like unnecessary bad reputation. But definitely in the older times the relationship was more humane, you could say that. More respect was going on, and in fact many families in pagan times and later on in Christian times they had so-called luli eläin, which means like a pet animal, but it was like a wild animal that was domesticated half. So it could be a deer or a cat or a snake that lived in the farm. Occasionally they might go like away for a long time and then come back, but the families would feed them. And for example the snakes, if there was a lurikäärme, the pet snake, the people would give them milk and other kind of goodies for the snake. And it was believed that these kind of pets, half domesticated animals, they brought good luck for the house. And especially snakes, because snakes they were connected to the underworld, so they had also already this kind of shamanistic aura around them, this kind of mysterious aura. And the way that snakes were connected to Manutar, the earth goddess, this was believed that if you take care of the snake, Manutar will give you lots of good luck and abundance when it comes to your life and anything that you do around nature and crops, how good the crop is going to be, and food for the family, everything will be wonderful and wealthy and harmonious. So Matopäivä, it wasn't only the day when the snakes woke up, but it was also the time when Akka, Manutar, Rauni, the earth goddess, that's the time when she woke up as well. This is very common in pretty much in all mythologies in northern hemisphere that are connected to the wheel of the year. Ostara is the time when the goddess wakes up in many myths. So it's the same in Finland. And it is very interesting the way the people had this very dual relationship to the snakes, and especially when it came to snakes, using snakes' parts in folk magic. Many people, when they found, for example, snake skins in nature, they were used for protective magic. And I have a video about snakes in Finnish and Baltic mythology. I will put a link to the description box so you can check that out. And in Lithuania, Lithuanians were known as the snake people in the pagan times because they worshipped snakes as one of their totem animals. And in Finland we have proofs that we have some kind of similar worshipping ways, worshipping patterns towards the snake that the Lithuanians had and other people in Baltic countries. That was the part of the snakes, especially if it was a snake skin that you can find from nature. They were buried to the different corners of the house to protect the house, because the snakes were believed to be holders of very powerful magic. And also sometimes it could be snake tails or snake heads that were buried, but of course it's better that you don't need to kill the snake to yourself, that you can find parts of snakes from nature. In Finnish mythology we also have this kind of magical totem. It's called the käärmekivi, the stone of the snake or egg of the snake, it wasn't real snake egg, it was a stone that was shaped of an egg. It was usually white. People believed that if they would find a stone like that, it was like a philosopher's stone or alchemy stone. People would gain huge amount of wisdom, and they would suddenly understand the languages of all the animals. So it's like a folklore legend about the mysterious snake egg, snake stone, käärmekivi. And then, unlike in many other countries, especially in Western world, when witches are connected to Samhain and to October in Finland and in Sweden and many parts in Scandinavia, witches, they were really connected to Easter. Witches arrived around Easter. And when I get to my Easter in Finnish pagan holidays and Easter, then I will tell you more about the connections between witches and Easter. But definitely in Finnish paganism, witches were believed to be seen around Matopäivä, especially. They arrived. You could see witches flying on broomstick in spring equinox and Matopäivä. They were all over. And it's very interesting. And also, when people did spells around Matopäivä, in the willows there is that willow twigs, and this is something also connected to Finnish Easter celebration. So people would cut those willow twigs, and they would use them like wands, and they would do spell casting with the willow twigs. And there's lots of different kinds of spell casting that you could do with those willow twigs. And especially people did lots of weather forecasting around Matopäivä. One was that there was a full moon right before Matopäivä. That would mean that it would be sunny during the next day and there would be frost in the night. Very typical Finnish spring. Okay, this was the story of Matopäivä. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you really like snakes and you feel empowered with the snakes, you might want to research this holiday even more and snakes in Finnish mythology, because it's very interesting. So thank you for watching, guys. If you like this video, leave it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to my channel for more Finnish pagan holidays. I will see you on my next video. Bye! Thank you for watching. If you are interested to learn more about Finnish mythology and folklore and ancient customs and beliefs, I have an 8-week online course called The Heart of Mielikki, which is a deep dive into the world of Finnish mythology and all the different deities and legends. You can find more information about it on my website, fairychamber.com, and I will also add the links to the description. Have a great day, make good choices, and I will see you next time. Bye!